Hello and welcome back to my 14th video in this Managing Stress Q&A series. This is a series in which I'm answering questions about managing stress that are sent in from readers. So if you would like to submit your question to the series, go to my website aliceboys.com and sign up to my email list, and you can reply to any of the emails with your question about managing stress. Alright, so today we are taking a question from D. So D says, my question is about how to deal with analysis paralysis and choice overload. From online shopping to LinkedIn courses, it seems like there are way too many options for our limited time, money, energy. How do you weigh options and make good choices? From D. Alright, so I'm going to give one answer to this question because there are a bunch of potential answers that has helped me a lot this year. So I got book contracts are about 12 months, right? Mine was a little over 12 months, and so for about the last year, I handed it in about a month ago. I've been working on my third book, and so it took me a little over a month after I got the contract to actually get started, and from then with a few breaks, I was doing 2 deep work periods a day. So one in the mornings and one in the evenings. That was like 1.5 hours, sometimes 2.5 hours, sometimes around that range. And what I was finding is that having that singular focus over a really long period of time stopped me from getting distracted by too many other things, right? So I knew I wasn't taking on learning a new skill or any other major big like DIY projects or anything like that around the house, or because I had that singular focus for a while. So I was focusing on something really meaningful. So I think that is part of the key for taking out some of the clutter, is to have like one focus at a time on something that is really, really meaningful, something that you don't mind devoting like a year plus to. Okay, so it might be a 1-year project, or like even like a 2-year project, maybe up to 3 years. So something in the 1 to 3 year range where it's worth devoting your deep work bandwidth to that project on a daily basis. Okay, it could be something like, if you want to build a tiny house or something like that that's building skills that feels super, super meaningful to you. It could be something around fitness. It could be around your finances, but something transformative that you want to devote. You want to be the main focus of your life and what's giving you sort of meaning in that sense of growth. And what I was finding is that there just wasn't a lot of room to overthink some of the things that I would normally overthink. There wasn't a lot of I just didn't have the energy after that to be able to overthink minor decisions like different purchase decisions. I wasn't going to spend an hour researching different types of a particular item on Amazon, or sort of overthinking those kinds of decisions. So, and also like some sort of medium-sized opportunities or small opportunities I managed to let pass me by better, that I probably should have always been letting pass me by. I didn't overthink, I was able to make much quicker decisions, mostly because I didn't have a lot of energy left after that. So in addition to my deep work, plus looking after my daughter, plus just the basic stuff that kind of has to be done on a daily basis, like responding to emails and keeping up some of my other writing relationships, like with Harvard Business Review and things like that. There just wasn't a lot of extra space in the day, and doing obviously like typical household things. So I would occasionally take on something that wasn't related to that project, like cooking a new recipe or something kind of basic when I wanted a little something else. But having that singular focus really, really helped. The other thing I have written about in Healthy Mind Toolkit is the idea of using heuristics for decision making to cut down on to cut down on needing to make new decisions over and over again that are kind of a similar nature. So one of the ones that I found has really helped me is that I tend to underbuy. So I tend to, which is a term from Gretchen Rubin. Gretchen Rubin talks about underbuys and overbuys. I'm not actually sure about her term, but that's where I heard about it. If it's her term, but it's where I heard about it. And she, so one of the things that would happen would I'd end up like needing to go shopping too much because I wasn't buying enough at the time, at one time. So I would have a rule where whenever I thought about how much of something I was going to buy, I would increase it 50%. So if my instinct was to buy 4 yogurts, I would buy 6 yogurts. And just that, so heuristic, another term for it is rule of thumb, but rule of thumb is a little bit of a racist term, so try not to use that, except that rule of thumb is a lot easier to understand than heuristic. Intuitively, but yeah, so if you can have some rules of thumb for decision making, heuristics for decision making, that can really help for things for decision making and prioritizing. Another one of mine is do jobs worth $100 before any jobs worth $100 or more before any jobs worth less than $100, and that's also like an easy way of prioritizing. What else has helped me? Just another idea and it's gone completely out of my mind. I think one of the things that has also helped me, this wasn't what I was thinking about, but another thing is this year is I've been able to designate more decisions as unimportant. So things like I get rewards, and rewards will expire, and so sometimes I would like sort of spend far too much time thinking about how I wanted to use those rewards, and so those kinds of decisions I'm increasingly designating as unimportant decisions and recognizing that like they're just things where a decision needs to get made, but what the decision is doesn't really matter that much. So another example of an unimportant decision might be like if you have to take a dish to, I guess not in COVID year, but if you have to take a dish to a party and you think, well, what dessert am I going to make? There are like 6 desserts I could make, what am I going to make, right? You could spend a lot of time thinking about that decision. That's an example where you need to making a decision is important, but what decision you make probably isn't that important. Sometimes you can think about like somebody you admire, so Jeff Bezos or Oprah or like anyone that you admire. It can be somebody like not super famous, but just someone you think is that you admire in your field, or someone you admire on a moral and ethical level, or someone that's doing something really important, right? It could be someone that's devotes a lot of time to helping others, or whatever it is. It's whoever you admire, and who is getting things done that you think are meaningful. Think about what decisions they would designate as unimportant. So how is it that they are getting done what they do get done? So what is it that they haven't? What is it that they would let go and not overthink? And what is it what opportunities would they let pass them by to be able to do what it is that they do? So that's something that I find quite a useful perspective as well. Like, sort of like, oh, this is below my pay grade kind of a thing. Like, this is not, my goal is to be thinking about the big strategic important things and not these minutiae, right? And I don't mean that in like a snotty way or in a way that like you're going to leave the unimportant decisions to other people, but you can sort of but one way is to just let more of those kinds of things pass you by and just make quick decisions when something is unimportant. And that has been something, as I said, that I've gotten better at this year than I have been previously. And what I put that down to is, again, what I said about having this focus that just took up most of my energy and didn't leave a lot of energy left for anything else. All right, so thanks for sending in that question, Dee. I'm going to leave that answer there for now, and hopefully there is something in one of those points that I made that is helpful to you and to other people that are listening to this. All right, thanks.